This is the MGTOW Infinium here with another Infinium training session. This Infinium training session is entitled The Construct of Excellence. Now, my MGTOW brothers, as you travel along the MGTOW road, you will discover that the simple foundational tenets of the MGTOW philosophy will cause you to develop a more excellent spirit. This is because within the tenets of the MGTOW philosophy, there is a construct of excellence. And it is through daily embracement of the MGTOW philosophy which causes the development of a more excellent spirit within you. You may not realize it, my brothers, but because of the simple foundational tenets and the construct of excellence provided by the MGTOW philosophy, you are doing something which is both dynamic and profound. You are going your own way. This is because the aforementioned has opened your eyes to a pathway of freedom which leads to freedom. Additionally, the construct of excellence dynamically changes your inner man because it removes any notion of slavery or false nobility or servitude to the feminist plantation state. Therefore, your belief patterns, systems, and thoughts move from that of how can I do my duty and serve to how can I become the man I am entitled to be as well as deserve to be. It is that inner shifting of a man's spirit which then begins to push him towards freedom. It also changes his mindset in every way possible because it allows him to see that he is foremost and first in every aspect of his life. So therefore, my brothers, again, the construct of excellence, which is provided by the MGTOW philosophy and the tenets of said philosophy, it basically puts you first. It says that you are first. You deserve to be first. And you, as a man, were designed to be first. You are not secondary. You are not a slave. You are not anything that is being said of you by feminists. Moving on, due to the construct of excellence provided by the MGTOW philosophy, men begin to realize that they not only have a right to exist as free men, but the power and importance to this world is great because of their existence. It is not something that, again, feminists have said of us where we are diminished, like the fish man bicycle thing where we're useless. We have great power and importance to this world because of our existence. As well, men begin to realize that their level of existence in this world is far and above the slavery mentality which has been forced upon them by the feminist plantation state. And it is that realization which both liberates men and initiates a process of liberation in every aspect of their lives. So, therefore, again, my brothers, the construct of excellence allows a man to open his eyes, a man who is following the MGTOW philosophy, to open his eyes and to see what he truly is, that he is not a resource, not a slave, not a piece of dirt or anything like that. He is something that is beyond these things. We men are beyond the level of what women think that we are, what the feminist plantation states that we are. And it is that process, that eye-opening process, which liberates us and, again, begins a process of liberation whereby we can think clearly, think freely, and begin to take the courses and actions that we need to do as men to walk along the MGTOW path, which leads us to freedom. Moving on, another aspect of the construct of excellence is that it allows for both rebuilding. I'll take that back. It allows for both building and rebuilding of our lives in a proper manner. Here it is a realization that we men do not exist as resources for the feminist plantation state, but rather as resources unto ourselves to aid in building and rebuilding our lives. And furthermore, what is built or rebuilt is ours and ours alone. So therefore, my brothers, again, the eye-opening process that the construct of excellence gives us is it allows us to begin to build or rebuild our lives. So for instance, if you're a young man and you're just starting out and you happen to follow the MGTOW philosophy, it allows you to build your life in a proper manner, to build your life free from being taxed as a resource by the feminist plantation state. And similarly, if you are a MGTOW who has faced devastating situations because of the feminist plantation state, it allows you to go about rebuilding your life. It allows you to get up and walk again. And it's not a thing of, like Tommy Lahren has said, to get your shit together, or what these simps or these enforcer simps or these enforcer cucks or whatever, where you need to build your life, you need to do this, you need to do that. It is, again, the realization that, first of all, that you're free, and that second of all, that you are not a resource whereby which, because of you doing your duty, you are plundered. Those resources, those things that you build, like a business or investment portfolio, anything that you do, a farm or whatever you do, whatever you decide to do along your pathway, along the MGTOW road, those resources are yours and yours alone. They are not to go to, for instance, maintaining a single mother's life and her health fund, so to speak. They are not for that. They are yours and yours alone. Yours for your purposes, your future, your whatever you decide to do, whatever you decide to do. If you decide to cash in all your stakes and travel the world, travel to live in another country, that is your business. And that is why, again, whatever is built or rebuilt is yours and yours alone, my brothers. And finally, the construct of excellence provided by the MGTOW philosophy allows men to be resistant and hardened against any shaming or entrapment tactics which women use upon them. This is because one of the main tenets of the MGTOW philosophy is that whatever shaming comes our way as men, we know in our minds, in our hearts, that it is irrelevant. So, for instance, my brothers, we daily undergo shaming, which comes through like YouTube, it comes through the internet, comes through enforcer simps, enforcer cucks, that we are a detriment to society. But because of the construct of excellence that the MGTOW philosophy gives us, we think differently, we operate differently, and we know in our minds and in our hearts that this shaming is false and irrelevant. We know that the shaming, for the most part, is an attempt on the part of the feminist plantation state to keep us under control, to keep us enslaved. That's the only purpose of it. It has no purpose in building us and has no purpose of making us better men. It is more so an oppressive type of thing, which happens in our lives. So therefore, again, we know in our hearts, in our minds, because of the construct of excellence provided by the MGTOW philosophy, that any shaming that comes our way in regards to us being MGTOW men is irrelevant. Additionally, because of the construct of excellence provided by the MGTOW philosophy, we men develop wisdom as well as strategies to both counteract as well as defeat entrapment tactics or techniques which are used by women to try to, again, entrap us into their Venus flytraps. So, again, because of the eye-opening process provided by the construct of excellence by the MGTOW philosophy, it allows us to see fully how women are trying to trap us, trying to scan and read us, trying to do all these types of things. When they, for instance, when they get on YouTube and say, we are sorry, we want men to come back, we love you, but they make no mention of changing the laws where we men can be free of being unfairly divorce raped. We know that that is basically BS. We know in our minds and our hearts that is BS. We know that when a Tomi Lahren gets up and says that all men are trash, we know in our minds and our hearts that is BS. We know about these things, my brothers, because again, that construct of excellence gives us a spirit of excellence whereby we see these things. We begin to operate in a measure and in a capability which is above the level of thought coming from the feminist plantation state. And I would say again, that's another reason, my brothers, why these women, these women who operate in the feminist plantation state cannot comprehend why we as men, as MGTOW men, operate in the manner that we do, nor can they comprehend the MGTOW philosophy itself. The best that they can do is to, again, shame us, trying to entangle us, try to send false apologies, hypocritical false apologies, all these types of things. But again, there is no effort to stop the widening gulf that is occurring between men and women in feminist plantation state societies, westernized societies, again, where feminism exists. There is no understanding of women that feminism itself is a tragic, destructive thing in their lives. The only thing they can do is to blame men for everything and anything that has gone wrong in their lives. And so again, the construct of excellence that the MGTOW philosophy gives us counteracts that and says, no, it is time for women to take accountability for their own actions. The construct of excellence, my brothers, is provided by the MGTOW philosophy. It's not about being boastful or prideful. It's not about beating on our chest and saying we are men, we are hear us roar. It's not about these things. It's about defining who you truly are as men who follow the MGTOW philosophy. And this is why, my brothers, it is important to daily consume your red pills and to daily embrace the MGTOW philosophy. So again, my brothers, as you walk along the MGTOW road towards your freedom, you will have many things happen to you, many negative things happen to you along that walk. And this lesson is to teach you and to make you understand that you operate under certain tenets and under a construct of excellence, which can help you, even if you fall down, even if you stumble, to pick yourself up and to dust yourself off and to continue along the pathway to freedom, which takes you to freedom. You must remember, my brothers, again, you are doing something which is dynamic and profound, and that is going your own way. And as well, you are free men who deserve to be free and who deserve to live their lives in freedom. This is the MGTOW Infinium, and this has been an Infinium training session. My MGTOW brothers, as always, stay safe, stay strong, stay on the MGTOW path, and remember, MGTOW is the liberation of men's minds. MGTOW cannot and will not be stopped.